Great. Hi everyone, my name is Hannah and it's another day of crafting. So, quick story, about a year ago I bought this beautiful full-length mirror off of Facebook Marketplace and we absolutely loved it. It fit in our living room perfectly and helped to open up the space. But small detail, we forgot to anchor it to the wall. Big regret, because about a month or two ago when we went on vacation, we forgot to turn off our Roomba, and when we came back home, we found our beautiful mirror just shattered to pieces on the floor. And I was super sad and mad that day. I cannot describe how disappointed I was because we love that mirror so much. But because of that, I have had this frame in my garage for the last couple of months. We got rid of the broken glass, but I could not bear to throw this frame away. I just knew I could come up with some sort of project to do with this. So finally, I have an idea, and we are going to use this and a couple of other Facebook Market freebies I found to create a holiday decor piece for the house. So let's get crafty.
The first item is of course the mirror frame. This one's not quite a freebie since I originally paid for it, but since it was heading towards the trash, I think it counts now. Then I found this scrap piece of sheetrock. When I saw it, I thought this might fit in the frame, so we went ahead and grabbed it. I picked up these paint samples even before I was planning this project. Some of them are definitely unusable, but I still have a decent variety of colors. This one's not from Marketplace, but my good friend gave them to me. Earlier this year, I helped her with her wedding decor and her dad made all these wood trunk slices. I'm super excited about these because they're the main inspiration for this project. Initially, all I had planned was to fix the frame, cut the sheetrock, and then use the wood trunk slices to create a cool large wall decor. I've never used this adhesive before and there weren't any instructions on how much to use. I either didn't wait long enough or used too little because the frame came apart a couple hours later. I made sure to use a ton more and did not touch it for at least 24 hours the second time. For the sheetrock, I had to connect the two pieces together because the longer piece had a corner cut out of it. This was my first time cutting sheetrock, so I watched this easy to follow YouTube video by Adam DIY, which I will link down below. I wanted to create a firewood look and needed to see if I had enough wood trunk slices to fit the entire frame. I only had enough for about half the length, so I had to brainstorm what to do for the top half. After some sketches, I decided on a fireplace theme. This was my inspiration. There are three main sections: the wood trunk slices on the bottom, the fireplace in the middle, and the bricks on the top. I started with the middle section and tried the gray, blue, and bronze paint. I wasn't leaning towards one more than the other, so I decided to mix them together. For the bottom section, I used the brown paint to match the wood. This section will mostly be covered up by the wood slices though. I've probably had this box of styrofoam for over a year because I knew I could use it one day, and today is finally that day. To To make the bricks, I cut these into 2.5-inch pieces. To give the bricks a more organic look, I crumpled up paper and pressed down on the styrofoam. Here's a comparison. For the color, I was hoping to go more with a red, but all those paints were unusable, so I ended up mixing this bright orange with some bronze. I was a little worried about the color, but this was the best I could do with what I had. I used a foam brush and started with one coat. I did not completely cover it to create more depth, and then I tapped the brush randomly for the second layer to create a natural look. Here's how it looked the next day. I actually think the color turned out great. I went over it lightly with some chalk and blended it with my finger for a rustic look. Okay, I thought the wood slices would be my favorite part of this project, but now I don't know with how good these bricks turned out. To create the grout, I mixed up some white paint and a little of the brick color. I also wanted to try adding some baking soda for more texture. I started in the middle and used adhesive to glue the bricks. With each brick, I painted the grout around the perimeter. This acted as a marker for the distance between each brick. I did not try and be perfect with this and actually wanted to paint a little on the side of the brick so that the brick did not look like it was on top of the grout but within. I wanted to add a mantel, so I used this large piece of styrofoam, which was actually the perfect length for the frame. I made a stencil for the shelf brackets and carefully cut them out. I decided to go with a brown wooden look. It's time to put everything together. Except the sheetrock was just slightly too big for the frame. After multiple attempts, I ended up sanding quite a bit off the side. And it worked! But to be safe, we stuck a lot of duct tape and extra support. Also, remember the sheetrock came in 2 pieces, so I just had to secure one more piece. That was a lot of work, but it's done. Very thankful for my husband's help. hang stockings on the mantel, I cut out some rings from a toilet paper roll. I used leftover black vinyl to cover it up. Then I used Sharpie to color any spots that weren't covered. It's finally time to add the wood slices. This is the part I was looking forward to the most, but let me tell you, Tetrising wood slices was not easy. So much trial and error, and as you can see, the sun is setting as I try and fit all the pieces in. I wasn't too worried about securing the pieces since they would be leaning on the sheetrock, but I did add some sticky tack in case. It's time for the full reveal. When I started this project, I didn't know how it would look like in the end, but I'm so happy with how this evolved. I'm super proud of this piece. Not only was I able to create something fun for the holidays, but more importantly, I was able to reuse many items that would have otherwise ended up in the trash. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this project gave you some ideas or inspiration. If you would like to see more, you can follow me on Instagram at Paper and Leaf. Bye!